Hello, everyone. This is Shirley Young, and welcome to Build a Wealth Strategy and Mindset Expert Talk Series, where we're going to talk about proven strategy to build wealth, pay off debt, and live more fully. I'm excited to have today's guest here with us. She is a holistic personal finance expert, a speaker, and the founder of Butterfly Wealth Creation Consultancy. She has helped influence thousands of people to have a better and more empowered relationship with their money. I'd like to introduce you to Lavinia Osbourne. Lavinia has worked in the financial industry all across Europe. After the crash of 2008, she decided to start her own business where she introduces her clients to different ways of creating wealth, preserve it, and prosper. She has been featured in Pride magazine, The Observer, and the Sunday's People Take It Easy magazine, as well as nominated for National Women Inspiring Women Award, and is listed as one of the top 50 businesswomen to follow on Twitter by Bird on the Blog. Welcome, Lavinia, and thank you for being on this interview series with us.
Hello there, Shirley, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, Lavinia, I know that you've helped and empowered many of your clients. Could you tell us a little bit of what you do?
Yeah, so wealth, money, finance is a subject that most people are oppressed about or have a lack of knowledge. And after the crash of 2008, it became even more evident as to how much. And so I decided to create this consultancy, Butterfly Wealth Creation, to help empower people to not only look about the different ways of creating wealth, but also look at how, how to protect their income and how to be prosperous. We live in a very material world, and so most times our self-worth is based on what we have and the job title that we also have. And so I wanted people to appreciate that wealth is something that comes from within, and that we all have within us the seed, the potential to change our financial lifestyle, our financial thoughts, feelings, views, understanding around, so that it serves us rather than it serving something outside of us. Yeah?
That's great. And do you have a wealth business system for your clients? And if you can share us with some examples, or what do you do with your clients?
Yeah. Well, the key aspects of the two-prong, I have a two-prong process, and so it's financial education, because financial education helps people to become more conscious of their financial potential, how money works, how they can make it work for them. Financial education helps them become more empowered so they don't give away what they have because of a lack of understanding, a lack of awareness. And then the second prong is financial planning. Most people think, I have to have a certain amount of money in order to plan. But planning is about what you will have. But you have to believe that you can create what you will have in the first place. So we work on mindset, we work on education, we work on awareness, we work on getting people engaged with their money, because money is an area where I find, and this has been the case with many of my clients, where they abdicate the responsibility of money to other people rather than having a sense of control and power about their money and abdicating, or not abdicating, but delegating what they want third-party sources to do with their money. And so there is a big difference between abdicating and delegating. And so when you create a financial plan, it enables one to see what they can create, We focus on the life element of the client rather than the client's money, because Butterfly Wealth Creation is a holistic practice. We are not about selling products. It's more about drawing from the individuals what it is that they really want for their life, and then putting a plan together to ensure that what they do earn and what they have can underpin those life qualities, those life desires. So that's what I do with my clients, and that is delivered in the form of workshops, one-to-ones, group programs, online programs, and webinars.
Oh, that's very good. And so it's all about education and planning. So do you have like the top 3 essential principles for building wealth?
Well, first of all, you've got to want it. You've got to believe that you deserve it. Then the third thing is discipline. Many of us, we live in a society that is all about, it's all about getting things quickly. Things move quickly. I want this, I'm just going to go out and buy it. And dedication and diligence and an element of discipline is required if you really want to build wealth. And the reason why I say that is because one of the key elements of building wealth is delayed gratification. If you want something, then there is a balance, yin and yang, and there's times where you're going to have to give up one thing in order to have the other. And if you are able to delay a level of gratification, going on holidays, buying that expensive bag, that expensive clothes wear, basically not keeping up with the Jonases, but choosing to focus on what it is that you really want in your life. And that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy your life in between that time. You're just more conscious about how you do it and why you're doing it. And this is where discipline comes in. And this is where you really have to know why you are choosing to build wealth. So the first one is, yes, focus, and the second is discipline. And the third thing, of course, is action. It's all well and good talking about it, but you have to take action. So those would be the 3 top things.
And action, and that's really great. And what kind of action, you talked about focus, discipline, and action. What kind of action can they do?
Well, I have a 4-step. I have an acronym in my business called PACE, and PACE stands for planning, awareness, clarity, and engagement. So, or to how I actually put it is to be prepared, to be aware, to be clear, and to be engaged. So the action is that you need to prepare yourself. If you're going to go away on a trip to Saudi Arabia, you're going to make sure that you pack your bag so there's warm clothing in there or cool clothing in there. If you're going to go skiing in Vermont or somewhere in beautiful Canada, for example, then you are going to pack accordingly. So if you're deciding that you're going to start your wealth building journey, your wealth and success journey, then you need to make sure that you are prepared for it. How do you prepare for your wealth and success journey? Well, first of all, you know who you are, what it is that you want, where you're starting from. You look at your environment, you look at what's going on in the market, and you build up your mental thought pattern as well, because with any journey there's always going to be challenges, and you can't fall at the first hurdle. And this is why the C comes in place. To be clear, have clarity, again, on why you are doing what you're doing. So to answer your question, be engaged. And how you can be engaged is by listening to the news. Most people will go to the back of the newspaper to read about the sports or to read the celebrity pages. And these celebrities are making their money. These celebrities are doing what they need to do to build their wealth. And what many people do is they spend their time giving accolade to these celebrities, spending the time reading about them and supporting them on their journey and their dreams. And what I say, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you enjoy doing, then fine, because one of the key things you have to do in this life is be happy, be contented, but also make sure that you're taking time out to watch your finances, to understand how your money works. And the only way you can do that is by turning to the pages at the back, but not at the back of the newspaper, where they will talk about business news and financial news. Be aware of what's going on in your environment. Be aware of what the interest rate you're receiving for your bank account. The amount of clients I've come across, and they don't know what interest rate they're receiving. Or they've had a good interest rate, and then the money where their account is, be it a deposit account, a bond account, is renewed, and they have no idea what their new interest rate is. And they stay with the bank out of loyalty. But really and truly, a bank has no loyalty to their client. You have to have loyalty to your money, and no one should know more about your money than you. So that is the action points that an individual can take by becoming more aware, being clear, and being engaged.
That's great. And, because my next question is about building habits, and, habits are very close to, I think, you need to have certain, habits that you build on top every day, because once, what we do every day becomes what you become, right? And so what do you have to have, and what are, three things, I like to do three things that you should have, the type of habits, so that, you can achieve that wealth, even the wealth mindset.
Patience. You don't know what you don't know, so you have to be open to learning. And when you are learning anything new, it can take time. Sometimes you feel like a child, you don't understand. So you got to be patient with yourself, and you got to be patient with your dreams, patience with acquiring new skills of understanding so that you can implement. So that is one of the first things I would say, patience. You also need to be the adjective has just escaped my mind, but it's patience. I talked about diligence before, persistence. Yeah. Now, to me, there is a difference between diligence, or discipline, should I say, and patience. Yeah. So with discipline, you're disciplining yourself to learn, to be engaged, so that you can change those habits. You have to be disciplined in order to change the habits. So the habit that you need to have in order to do that is persistence. You have to be persistent in your dreams. No one is going to, no one should care more about just like your money, no one should care more about your dreams than you. You have to believe in your dreams. You have to be persistent in your dreams. That doesn't mean that you're deluded. It means that you believe in yourself so much, you believe in your capability so much, that whatever obstacles comes your way, you find a way of overcoming them, overcoming adversity. You are persistent in overcoming your adversities. You are persistent in becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable in order to grow and be more than what you are at this present moment in time. Because if you were the person you needed to be in order to create the wealth that you want to create and build a legacy, then you would already be that person. So that means you need to acquire new skills, new thought patterns, new habits, and also have new experiences in order to become the person you need to be in order to create the wealth, to preserve it, and to be prosperous. And that is the reason why I call my business Butterfly Wealth Creation, because the butterfly goes through a transformation from the egg to the caterpillar, to the pupa, then to the butterfly. And then the final habit, I would say, and this might sound strange, humility. Have humility. And the reason why I say that is because most people are led by ego, and ego is a fallacy. Ego can lead you to do things that do not serve you in the long run because you feel that's what you should do and that's what you feel everybody else thinks you should do. Or maybe I'm of a certain age and therefore I should have A, B, C, and D. When you are humble in your wealth and success journey, you don't forget who you are. You are not distracted by the bright lights and the bling bling. Humility keeps you grounded. And just because you're grounded doesn't mean that you can't put hold your head up high and put your eyes to the star, because you know what you're going for. Humility allows you to not allow your success to then define you in the sense of, this is my self-worth is based on what I have and the money, how much money I have, the things that I have. You are able to say in any situation that I am wealth, that I am capable, and irrelevant of what I have or don't have, I know I can conquer. I can be more because I have the skills and I have the patience, I have the diligence, and I have the discipline,
That's right. Yeah. No, I love those habits. It's very, it's well thought of, and it's humility, yes, you don't really think of it as a habit, and it's true that we have to keep, practicing, because you forget, right? So how do you transform, your dreams to wealth into reality? Like, you have a dream, you want to have this. How do you make it reality? How do you tell your clients?
Right, okay. So it goes back to being prepared. And one of the things I wanted to say when I was saying that is that if you know it's going to rain, what do? If you know it's going to rain...
Bring an umbrella.
Exactly. You bring an umbrella. So, as stated, Butterfly Wealth Creation is coming from a holistic point of view. Because it's holistic, it's about the mind and the body and the soul. So you've got to get your mind right. And you've got to believe in yourself that you know this, A, B, and C, the things that you want to happen is going to happen. And so if you know it's going to happen, then you need to prepare yourself. And the only way you can prepare is by having a plan. And this goes back to the two prongs of financial education and financial planning. And so I will sit down with clients. I'll ask them 3 key questions. Well, first of all, we go through their financial autobiography, see what the blocks are, see what messages they had in their life, which has maybe impeded them, blocked them, limited them from achieving the successes personally, financially, that they have wanted to acquire in their life. Then after that, I'll ask them 3 certain questions, and those questions are about finding out what their heart core desires are. And once I know what those heart core desires are, then it's a question of, investigating how much is it really going to cost in order for you to have those things. Many people say they'd love to have a millionaire lifestyle. You don't necessarily need £1 million in order to live a millionaire lifestyle. There are many ways and that you can have a level of lifestyle that is in alignment with who you are, and it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. And so it's about finding out how much these dreams or these hardcore issues are, and also allowing the person to understand, to see that they really are the master of their life, of their future, of their well-being, of their financial well-being and personal well-being. And it's such an amazing and what's the word now? It's such an amazing and privileged feeling when I talk to my clients, and it's like a light bulb goes in their eyes, and you can see, it's like their shoulders just go back, and their neck and their spine comes up, because they start to realize that they don't need permission to step in their power and believe in themselves and take action on their dreams. So once we have got the hardcore issues or what the hardcore desires are, not issues, desires are, then we will find out. Like I said, we'll do research to find out how much it is, and then if there's if they don't have enough, or they're not going to have enough for the time when they want to reach it, we'll look at different investment opportunities that are out there, which they can utilize in order to leverage what they've already got, or to start building on being able to provide for their hardcore desires.
Right. And so when we talk about, preparing and planning, it also comes with building a good mindset when you're reaching that financial wealth. What kind of good mindset, you think one should have, and how do you get that?
Well, first of all, it's got to be positive. That's a given. It's got to be prosperous. And this is why I mention about the umbrella analogy, in the sense of you have to believe that you can, and that not only that you can, but you will. And if you want to give yourself 5 years, if you want to give yourself 10 years, so be it. But ultimately, you have to believe that you will. And faith and belief, they cannot be underestimated. And so if you don't have it, then you need to find a way to get it. And the best way of doing that is by listening to people who have been on the journey that you have, or that you are on, who have succeeded. Someone maybe who's similar to you. Maybe they come from the same background. They've gone through certain things that you have. Because once the mind knows it can be done, then there is nothing to stop the mind from doing it, other than you as an individual. So, first of all, you need to find an example of someone who succeeded the way that you want to succeed, number one. Number two, then you need to start reading books and engaging with people who are all about building up your mindset in regards to possibilities of being able to, of success principles ultimately, Like one of the success principles I love is like if you chop at a tree every day, eventually it is going to fall. And this is where the habits come in. So if you keep doing something and keep, as long as you're making a step forward, do one thing. When you're starting off, if it's just one thing a day that you do, reading, sending out an email, building on your website, because there's different vehicles that you can use to create wealth. Property, which is something I know you know a lot about, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Building a business, investing in a business, investing in stocks and shares, trading. There are many ways. And, depending on where you're at, your knowledge, the funds that you have available, it will come quicker. But just because, they say that wealth loves speed. But it's not speed in the sense of it's not a race with anyone. You're not in any race with anyone, but it's in the action taking. Wealth loves speed in taking action. Make sure you're taking, doing something at least once a day to move you forward on your wealth building legacy, on your wealth and success journey, as I like to call it. And the reason I call it a journey, because it is a journey. You're building up and you're developing yourself. And even when you reach certain goals, there's always more that you can grow. You as a person, as an individual, life goes on irrelevant of where you are at, what you are doing, what you think, what you feel. And, there's a great quote from Jim Carrey, and I love it. And this is what he says, and I think this really contextualizes what I'm saying. You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. So, again, depending on where you're at, it might take you longer than somebody else, but it doesn't matter, because your journey is your journey. And as long as you're taking the steps towards what it is that your heart core desires, building your wealth legacy, then eventually you will get there. And along the way, you would have learned so much about yourself. It's the saying goes, No one says it will be easy, but it will be worth it.
Right, and then that's so true. And so if there is, my last question to you is, if there is any motivational tip for someone who's currently in debt, they really can't see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, what are some tips that you can give them so that they can move along, whether they're entrepreneurs or, they're working, or anybody, in different financial, parts of their financial journey, I would call it. What would you give them? Because it seems like whatever they've done, they seem like the debt is there and they can't get out of it. And so what advice or what motivational tips can you give them?
Well, advice and motivational tips. I'll start with the advice. Anyone, whoever is listening to this right now, please know that you are bigger than your debt. You are bigger than your financial situation. You just have to choose to know it, believe it, and own it. Mm-hmm. When you are in debt, you need to first ascertain. There's so many levels here. So just being in debt is overwhelming, it's overpowering. It can make you feel like you are not worthy. You are worth something. You have value irrelevant of your financial situation, be it you're a millionaire or someone with, thousands and thousands of pounds worth of debt. Even the millionaire can sometimes feel unworthy and feels like they have no value. And even the millionaire has debt. It's all relative. How you choose to go about dealing with the debt. So your mindset, again, is what's going to push you through. As I touched upon, Shirley, most people, their self-worth is tied up in what they have, assets, and how much they earn. So that is one area where you have to relinquish that link, to cut that link and stand in your power as an individual, as a human being, a worthy and valuable human being. Debt does not define you. Do not allow your debt to define you. Then what I would say is that first of all, you need to don't put your head in the sand. Face your debt. How much is it? How much debt is it that you're in? You may need to let go of certain things that have made you feel valuable and worthy. You may have to let go of certain things, a certain way of living, a certain way of spending in order to get out of debt. But if you know that as an individual, as a human being, you are worthy and you have value irrelevant of the things that you have, then even though it's going to be hard, it is doable because you have to look at the bigger picture. And this is the reason why I say you have to become bigger than your situation. You have to step out from your situation and know that you are bigger, become bigger than the actual situation, and make a plan for the long term. The situation that you're in right now in regards to debt is not your life. It will not be the rest of your life unless you choose it to be. It is a moment in your life, and you do have the power within to change it. So here are some things that you can do. Talk to the person who owns the debt. Understand how debt works. Understand your rights. Understand civil law. For example, understand contract law. Understand that just because a bailiff comes knocking at your door, you don't have to open the door to that bailiff. That doesn't mean that you're ignoring your situation. You're just choosing how you are going to deal with it, rather than allowing a third party to tell you, to dictate to you how you are going to deal with it. Stand in your power. This is what standing in your power means. When you understand money, when you understand how money is created, when you understand why debt is so prevalent in society, it gives you more understanding and it gives you more power in order to become bigger than your situation. And there are different organizations and forums out there that can, support you on your debt, on dealing with your debt. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, join organizations and forums that will support you on your debt, that will encourage you, that will build you up, that will give you some solutions other than just from the government. Don't always believe everything that you hear. I'm not anti-government, but, everybody has an agenda, and you need to appreciate that. then the other thing that you need to think about is, why did you get in debt in the first place? Again, I find it's to do with people's self-worth, wanting to keep up with the Jonases, or being naive about money, not having an understanding about money, or thinking, as many, for example, many celebrities do, that the money was going to last forever. Don't be complacent about your resources. Make sure you're making your money work for you, rather than you just working for money. Don't be complacent about what you have today, because ultimately, more than money, your health is important. There's so many other things in life that are important. Money is great, and I think money is important, and it should definitely be high on your value list, because if it's low on your value list, then you're not attracting money into your life. So I'm all about, attracting wealth into your life by having it as money as a value high on your priority list. But that doesn't mean that you're all about money or that you are a slave to money. It just means that you appreciate money and you like to have it so that you can do good things in life, or, make a difference, make an impact to yourself personally and to the people around you. Enjoy money, love money. But ultimately, you also have to be aware that money is not the be-all and end-all, and that your self-worth is not wrapped up in, again, and I keep saying it because it's so important, in your self-worth. And just because you have it today doesn't mean that you'll have it tomorrow. So you have to look after what you have, appreciate it, have gratitude, appreciate, and make sure that you're making your money work for you.
Wow. No, that's a great answer. And, you've provided lots of, valuable insight into money and self-worth, all that. And, really appreciate it. And so I know that you have a gift for our audience. And can you tell us more about your gift, your free gift?
Yes. It's I'm all about fun, financial fun. I think money, personal finance, wealth, it should be fun. And so I've created a quiz. It's a financially fun quiz, and it's all about where you are at on your wealth and success journey. And it's based on the metamorphosis of the butterfly. So depending on the answers, on how many points that you get on answering the questions, and the questions touch on mindset, it touches on how you think about money, the things that you know about money, the actual actions that you take, what books do you read, do you go to events? So there's a number of questions. I think there's about 12 questions, so it's not too many. It won't take too long. It'll take about 2 or 3 minutes for you to answer the questions. And then at the end of it will categorize you as to what level or at what stage you are at on your wealth and success journey. And those stages, of course, is the egg, the butterfly egg, caterpillar, pupa, and then, of course, the butterfly. And then there's some action points for you to take depending on where you are at on your journey. So that's a free gift.
Yeah, that sounds so fun, and I'm going to try that out myself. And so where can people find you? And do you have that site, or I'm going to have it on our website too, but where can people find you?
So they can find the quiz, or they can find me at butterflywealthcreation.com. And as you stated, Shirley, the quiz link will be on your website. But would you like me to state it here?
Sure, you can.
Okay.
So they can get it right away.
Yeah, so it's butterflywealthcreation.com, wealth and success. So .com/wealth and success.
That's perfect. And so, I want to thank everyone who joined in on our talk today. And I want to thank you again, Lavinia. And so hope everyone have a prosperous day. Goodbye.